Hey everyone, it's Joanne Molinaro, the Korean Vegan, and today I thought I'd take you through 3 vegan sandwich recipes. This is actually going to be an instructional video, and that's because I love sandwiches so much. Of all the things that I missed when I went vegan, it was a good, hearty sandwich, and these are guaranteed to satisfy. They're so easy to make, and they're so delicious. So let's get started. Act 1 of my sandwich production is the pesto egg sandwich. I don't know about you, but on TikTok, pesto eggs are the new trend. So we're going to cut up 2 thick slices of hearty bread. I'm just using whole wheat bread. I'm going to stick those in the toaster oven for about 5 minutes so they come out nice and crunchy and toasty. And then we're going to make our Korean omelet or keranmari. It's really important to use a non-stick pan for this. I'm going to add just a teensy bit of oil as well as liquid egg replacer. I'm using just egg. And then we're going to layer it up with a few pieces of vegan cheese. And here's the magic. We're going to add just a little bit of pesto as well. So pesto is actually a mixture of herbs, oil, oftentimes garlic, and some pine nuts or pistachio, whatever nut is your pleasure. It's absolutely delicious and imparts a very intense flavor. So we're going to be very judicious with adding just a little bit of pesto to our eggs and cheese. And then we're going to continue rolling our keranmari just like you would a traditional Korean omelet. So pesto utilizes usually extra virgin olive oil to bind all those ingredients together. So as you can see, this is going to be a very rich and cheesy sandwich. So I'm just going to make sure that all sides of my keranmari are nice and cooked. I'm going to take it off the heat. And I'm just going to let it rest a little bit. Wow, green eggs indeed. Next, I'm going to slice up some tomatoes. You can use cherry tomatoes, grape tomatoes. I'm using Campari tomatoes. Just slice them up nice and thinly, and that's going to add a lovely brightness to our sandwich. And there's my bread, nice and toasted. I'm going to add my omelet to the top, and then of course add a layer of those tomatoes. I'm also going to add a handful of greens. I'm using baby arugula here. I really like the mild pepperiness it adds as well as the texture. And then to add just a bit more acid, a drizzle of some balsamic vinegar. It really makes a difference, so don't skip that step. And then we're just going to top the sandwich and of course cut it up into 2 pieces. Wow, that looks amazing. My mouth is watering. And that's the kind of sandwich I can eat for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Pesto egg sandwich, everyone. Next up is my grilled cheese and onion sandwich. This is basically a riff off of a French onion soup if it was a sandwich. So you're going to actually take up an entire onion and you're going to julienne it, which is really a very fancy French way of saying you're going to slice it up into thin pieces like you see me doing there. And you do want to use the entire onion because as you cook it, it's going to shrink. I'm also going to take 2 pieces of bread and I'm going to butter just one side of each piece like you see there. I'm going to use a nonstick pan. I'm going to add just a bit of oil and I'm going to get our onions lovely and caramelized. So I'm going to dump the entire onion into our pan, and this is where it requires some patience. I'm going to add a teensy bit of salt as well as cracked black pepper. And what that salt is going to do is it's going to start bringing out all of the liquids in that onion. And that liquid is going to help with the caramelization process. So you can see that my onions are getting brown. I'm going to help that along by adding just a tablespoon of soy sauce, which is going to lend it some rich umami flavor. And look at that. Oh my gosh, I am drooling. That's going to be in your sandwich. Who doesn't want that in your sandwich? Seriously? So I'm going to shape it sort of into a large rectangle, and I'm going to add my slice of vegan cheese as well as a handful of some shredded cheese right over the top of that onion. And then I'm going to add the bread non-buttered side down. This is a trick I learned from TikTok, y'all. I'm going to flip the whole thing, and then I'm going to flip that other piece of bread over the top. Flip the sandwich. Oh my gosh, check out that caramelization. Now, that's the kind of sandwich I want to eat every bad day I've ever had. We're going to cut it in half, and we're going to take a bite. So good. This is the perfect sandwich to make when it's really cold, damp, and rainy outside, and you just want to stay inside and watch K-dramas all day. So good. 10 out of 10, guys. All right, the final act of my sandwich production is this really light and simple focaccia sandwich. And it starts with some tomatoes. Again, I'm using Campari tomatoes, but you can use grape tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, or even Roma tomatoes. You slice those really thin. Now, as the name suggests, you are going to need some focaccia. Don't worry, I got you. I have a focaccia recipe on my blog. It is one of the easiest recipes I have, and it's also one of the most popular because it's so easy. If you can't make your own focaccia or can't find any at the store, just pick up your favorite bread. It'll work just as well. Next, I'm going to spread each slice with a little bit of vegan mayo. Yep, you heard me. I said vegan mayo. Trust me, it tastes like real mayo. But if you don't want to use mayo, vegan or otherwise, you can also use some butter or you can use some hummus. That sounds actually really good. Next, we're going to take those tomatoes we sliced up and add that to our sandwich. Nice, neat rows. Look at them. They look like little rubies. My goodness, my mouth is watering. I've been drooling basically throughout this entire YouTube video. I'm going to sprinkle that with some salt and pepper and drizzle it with some balsamic again for just a bit of acidity and tartness. We're going to top that with our slices of vegan cheese and a great big handful of greens. I'm using arugula again. You can use spinach. You can use whatever salad greens you like. Some torn bits of fresh basil. And top it off and slice it into 2 pieces. Wow, that looks so gorgeous. This reminds me so much of the delis and the cafes in Rome where you'd walk in, you'd see kind of rows and rows of these panini sandwiches. So good, so fresh, so simple. You're gonna love this. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video of my 3 vegan sandwiches. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future Korean vegan videos. Have a lovely day.